DC's #1 recording studio. Oh!
Yes, I said it. My whole life has changed. I am complete. No more heartache or pain. I am. Yes, I said it, and I meant it. And my world has changed. I was poor from a dark, dark side. But now I can see again. You reached down when I needed you most. Oh, and you kept me close. Yes, I said it. Our whole life has changed.
Scared to face the world with my scars out and proud. Never again will I let something hold me down. I am complete. Thanks to the help I got when I kneel down on one knee. I learned the road of life is filled with twists and turns, and if you play with fire, you will get burned. But that road I traveled and that burn I suffered, but in the end it made me tougher. Lord knows I wanted to quit and just end it all, but he told me, son, this is not where you fall, this is where you stand tall.
When I was in need, oh, you saved me. Yes, I said it. When I was troubled, and I meant it. My whole life has changed.
Sitting in for Kenita, and this is Renee. I'm sure you all are familiar with Renee. And next to Renee, we have Melanie, who's going to also discuss her story. And next to me is Brittany. Brittany is also going to discuss her story. So we are so excited today. This is a wonderful, wonderful day for them both to tell their stories. And Kenita, we miss you. We miss you. So we will go in and start with Melanie with her story of abuse and how she just came out of it, went through it, came out of it, and shining out right now.
Yes.
Let's do it.
So my story is, it starts off like a Lifetime movie network story and then ends as Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh my.
So I'll talk about how I met this person. So I'm a fashion model for Wilhelmina Models. Hey guys.
Hey.
And my industry is very competitive, and you meet a lot of people like when you're working and stuff. So I travel a lot, And for my birthday, for my 25th birthday, on May 1st, I lied to you not, I was like, God, you know, I'm tired of the dating scene. Like, everything is just completely empty. And I just want somebody in my life who I can, like, mesh with. So I prayed that, you know, that this person would be saved and baptized and, you know, be a Christian. And both parents were married and looked like my celebrity crush, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, jeez.
But I didn't go into depth like I should have. I kind of stopped there. I stopped there, and I should have went further on. But anyway, that was May 1st. So I wasn't supposed to go on this particular cruise. We were supposed to actually go to, sail out of Puerto Rico. But I decided I'm still a big kid, so I wanted to go to Disney World. And we went on Freedom of the Seas by Royal Caribbean. I love you guys, and they know that they love me too because we're Diamond Plus members with them. But I go on this cruise, and I see this guy who looks like Cristiano Ronaldo. I said, oh, okay. Damn, like, he looks good. So, you know, we talked on, I think, like May 23rd. By the 25th, we were in a relationship. Yeah. It happened that fast. And I thought that was...
wait, May
1st, I prayed.
Oh.
Like May 25th, we were already in a relationship. And I was like, okay. So, right.
Yes,
I said,
it
oh,
does.
this... All I got to do is just pray and just have faith, and it's going to come through.
Yes.
Okay. Like, I was like, that was fast. Let me start, you know, praying more in depth now for, like, what I really want.
Right.
Well... Everything went fine. Like, we made a point of interest, and we met on the cruise ship because he was working on the cruise ship. I guess I should let people know that. So he was working on the cruise ship. He's from the Ukraine. He speaks Russian and Portuguese and other different languages. And it seemed to be very, you know, intelligent, nice, and sweet, and everything was great. And we made a point of interest to see each other, you know, every month. Even though he was down in Florida and was going to be leaving to go back home to the Ukraine. Well, December 27th, this was 2014. So December 27th, 2014 is when he asked me to marry him. And so even though I had reservations, my first response was, are you serious? And he was like, of course, like, I love you. So I said, okay. You know, I was having a very challenging moment at that time, being in the industry. You don't really know, like, who your real friends are. And I was like, this person loves me beyond my flaws and really wants to, like, marry me. Right. Okay, like, this is really God working. That's what's up. So January 9th, 2015, we got married, and shit started to fall apart afterwards. Okay. For real. A couple of days before we got married, we were on a cruise, and I thought that I had reservations. I was like, okay, do I really want to do this? Like, my parents aren't here. Like, do I really just want to go off and get eloped in Florida? I was like, I'm just going to do it. So I did it. And shortly after that, his birthday is the next month. It was February 8th. I posted a picture on Facebook. This is when the red flags started happening. I posted a picture on his Facebook page saying, happy birthday to my hubby. And he got pissed off. He was, like, completely pissed off. And was like, don't do that. Like, my parents don't know where I am. And, you know, I can't believe that you would do something like that. And I don't know. It was like an uncomfortable situation. So I was like, okay, like, I'm just going to justify this. This is my husband. I'm going to, you know, listen to him, because I know in a marriage you're supposed to equally submit to one another, and that's what I wanted to do. So I took it off. So, you know, after a while, he just started to become more agitated and irritated with different situations that wasn't that serious. So he went back to the Ukraine, was supposedly in the special forces back in like 2007 or such. And because of the war between Russia and the Ukraine, he had to go back, he said, because they were outnumbered seriously by Russia. So I don't take away from that. I don't know if that was true or not, but I do understand that the country was struggling. So he was there from March until May or June. He thought that he was going to get out, whatever. They have a lot of corruption over there. So I helped him financially get out the military along with his parents, who I found out, you know, was affiliated with the stereotypical Russian, people that people know Russians to be.
So pretty much it was the financial portion that kind of led into the abuse.
Maybe. So when he got back in July 2015, last year, things were different. Our sexual relationship was different. He ended up having like sexual deficiencies and erection deficiencies. Yes, erectile dysfunction. Yes. And I was like, all right, this is my husband, but I'm going to support him.
Right.
I'm not going to, shade him away because of that, but I'm still going to make it work. Because I love him. Loved him. So that's when it started. He came back July 6th and told me somewhere around July 18th, hey, I'm going to New York to work up there so that way I can help us save money. Like, I made connections with some Russians up there, and they're going to help me, get ourselves situated with the immigration papers. Well, then the red flags really started hitting. But I didn't want to judge him because, he was my husband.
Right.
So I said, okay, I'm going to support him. And then every conversation was like immigration papers. Like somehow the immigration papers incorporated itself into it. And we would get into these arguments. But there was a red flag when he came back. I am not the type of person to cause drama or to go through your phone or anything like that. But something in my spirit just wasn't right. So he went to the bathroom. It was late at night. He went to the bathroom. And I don't know, I just happened to check his phone. And I saw loads of text messages from people during the time when we got married, from the time that he was coming off the ship. And I was like, hold on. Like, one of the messages was, oh, baby, I'll keep you warm. And what the fuck is happening? Like, what is this? So I'm like, okay. His justification was he was trying to help one of his friends get a green card. And so I started thinking to myself, well, okay, maybe I'm in the same situation. But he kept pleading to me that he wasn't. We got into a mad argument that night, too. Cussing and fussing, whatever. I was ready to just put him out. But I was like, I kept blaming myself, and I was like, okay, this is only, 6-7 months into our marriage. I don't want to completely give up because I would feel guilty. Like, marriage is tough. Marriage is hard work. So I'm going to wait it out. I'm going to trust on what he's saying and keep going.
Well, when exactly did the
abuse start happening? August. I started getting cussed out and blamed for stuff and, being called a bitch and just all kind of stuff. And it was happening, I didn't realize, but it was actually happening on a weekly basis. The process of abuse starts from, okay, I'm just trying to help you. He knew I had gained some weight, and so it was like, you're fat now, but I'm just trying to help you. I'm not trying to be mean, so don't get upset or don't feel hurt, off of that. And I would be like, okay, maybe, this is just my husband being completely honest with me.
So the verbal abuse started.
The verbal abuse starts. Yes. And then with the irritation and all that stuff. And the physical abuse happened on our honeymoon. Yes.
Wow.
Which I paid for.
No, that's different.
I paid for everything, okay? Financially stable. We didn't have to want for anything. Bank account was completely loaded. I make sure that, all my checks was going, well,
so
not
what was
all of
his issue? It was just that he just wasn't happy with your success and...
No, he kept saying that, I'm really trying to help us and I'm really trying to save us money. But I never saw the money. So it was like, okay. When I first told him how much I was putting into our account, he said that wasn't enough and laughed about it. I'm like, excuse me?
Was he contributing anything at all?
Hell no. So I was like, so how is this not enough?
Right.
So I'm like, oh, okay. And, I would get upset, but I was like, I'm going to try to be the saved and baptized Christian that I am.
You were really nice.
Yes, I really was.
You were from
because I didn't want that to come back on me and, all that stuff. I was like, this is new. I'm going to try to de-escalate the situation and not let it rise. I got a bad temper. And I had been working on not being selfish, worked on not having a bad temper, and was really trying. So we go on our honeymoon. Now, let me tell you. We did not really have to pay for anything but airfare and food and whatever activities that we wanted to do. My parents have a condo on the Las Vegas Strip. and they gave it to us for our honeymoon. That morning, I'm doing my makeup. Okay, it's like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. It's our honeymoon. My face is always beat, no matter where I go, even at the gym, if I'm coming from work. So I wanted to look good. That morning,
I was getting ready to say something on that one.
That morning he said, he got upset. He said, instead of you taking 2 hours to do your makeup, you should have like tried to make breakfast. Well, sir, I don't cook. I never had to really cook a day in my life.
Yeah, he didn't know
Yeah,
that
no, but I was trying. I tried to do new things, you know, and cater to my husband and stuff. But hold on, this is our honeymoon. I want to make sure I'm looking good on it, right? So he got pissed off. I said, no, let me know if this is going to be a good honeymoon or not, because I could drop your ass off back at the bus station and have you go back to New York, because we were leaving out of BWI. And I wasn't having that, because I was like, I could have called somebody else. I could have called Michelle, who's here supporting me. Thank you, girl. And we could have went to Las Vegas and had a great time. Okay, but that didn't happen.
So the bottom line to it is that he basically was the financial abuser, or
He was the mental, physical, emotional, and financial abuser.
Wow.
Yes. So on our honeymoon, we're out there. We're walking like in between a gate. And he said, oh, I didn't think that you were going to fit. Well, you know, that's a sensitive situation to me, because you know I had been working out, and you know I've been trying to lose this weight, but I had gained it because of, you know, health issues. Wow. And you used it against me. So that night when we were getting ready to fly out, we're at the condo, and I noticed that he's, like, the whole time we're out there taking pictures and stuff, he's getting upset because he'll take a picture of me, and then I'll take a picture of him, but then he'll say, do you see how you took this picture? In his Russian accent. Do you see how you took this picture? Like, you cut my feet off. And would get, like, super irate and pissed off about that. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with him? What's happening right now? So when we got back, I told him, I was super calm about it. I had to pray on it because I did not want to come across as being wrong. So I said, you know, I didn't feel comfortable with you saying the comment that you made about me not being able to fit in between the gate. He goes, are you stupid or what? Like, you always, you know, say stupid shit like that. I'm tired of you, like, bitching and shit. So I said, okay, I've asked you to stop talking to me like that. All I've ever asked you for, yes.
I will say this, and this is just me, my own opinion. At some point, when you start going in on me like that, my mindset is totally different now. I'm ready to get back on the plane or whatever we need to do at that point. And I'm not saying that what you did was wrong, but I'm just trying to, you know, to the listeners, that's kind of some of the signs that you know.
Oh,
that
definitely.
there are some problems when they start. I mean, the weight thing. I mean, and
trying to tear
yes,
you down.
clearly, yes.
Yeah.
But they always make an excuse to say, "I'm just being honest and I'm just trying to help you," and it's.
I'm sorry.
It is brainwashing. It really is.
Definitely.
Yes. And you know to yourself deep down that this is abuse, but you're still trying to justify and make excuses for yourself.
Because you want it to be what you want it to be.
And I did not want my first marriage to be a failure, you know? So, okay. We had that conversation. I'm crying, and I'm an emotional person. I hate to admit it, but I really am. And I told him, I said, I just asked you to stop talking to me like that. All I have ever asked you for was to support us financially, so that way we can have a mortgage, we can have our own stuff, and we could really build a life together. We can invest money together. His ass wanted to invest in gold. Who the hell invests in gold?
Wow.
yeah, pretty much.
And you're trying to live the life here in America that you lived in Russia and Ukraine. The economy is not the same.
No.
I'm in finance. The economy is not the same.
And he's a little different.
Yeah.
But I do want to
Get down to the physical abuse.
I want to get to the physical abuse, and I also want to touch on Brittany's story as well.
Okay.
Get some of the information on Brittany's story, and I know we have some callers calling in as well.
All right.
And then we'll kind of switch back and forth. So we'll go ahead with your story, Brittany, which is amazing.
First of all, you are a warrior.
Thank
and
you.
you are a survivor. And thank God for you getting out of that. Seriously, because you got married.
Yeah.
You got married. So so with me, I met this guy. We were in like a summer program, and we were young, immature. young kids, probably around maybe 16, maybe 17. And we met at a summer program, and it was basically like a kind of computer, the kind of DC employment summer program. So we did that, and that's how we met. I never really paid him any mind, which is actually funny. I was kind of a person who loved people, and I still am the same way. But behind my back, he actually was telling people that we were together without me even knowing him. Wow. So that's actually hilarious thinking about it now, because I didn't know until after we were together. But if I would have knew before, that would have been a sign that I didn't need to. But of course, when people have underlining things, they hide. Right. So we get to talking on the phone, of course, and things like that, and we get into a relationship. Our relationship was very fast as well. Mm-hmm. I'm a person who is a product, I guess, of abandonment issues, father not being there emotionally and things like that. So when you have somebody who's showing you attention and really says that they love you, mm-hmm. I was like, okay, well, I go with you. How you say you go with you. So, I go with you, and we was boyfriend and girlfriend. And I didn't know how to be a girlfriend. I just knew that it was somebody in my presence who said that they cared. And that's all I really wanted, being a girl who I was. So, everything was fine. Of course, like the honeymoon stage that people call it, it was pretty good. And then we got into a situation where it wasn't happy anymore. You get used to each other, and you figure out more of who that person is. You realize that you have the same pain, and you realize that you have not coped with your own pain, and all you know how to do is argue. All you know how to do is what your parents did when you were younger, mm-hmm. or just fight or anything like that. So that's what we did. We argued, but it was never physical, and I felt like he would never hit me. Mm-hmm. But one day we were at a bowling alley, and it was just a regular day. We were friends, and I invited my friend, and I stepped out because she needed directions. And so I stepped out to here, and I said, hey, this is, how to get here. Then I went back in, and he was fuming. So I'm like, what's wrong? He said, I didn't know where you were. And why did you leave? And just things like that. So I'm just like, what? I was just going to tell my friend how to get here. And as I think about it more, as my story unfolds, things like that, that same thing was protection to me at first. But now that it was no longer love there and it was obsession, it turned to abuse. Mm-hmm. So all of that beforehand in our honeymoon stage was just cute.
Right. You thought he was actually caring for you.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So now that we had a couple arguments and things like that, and I'm kind of running off at the mouth, that's not safe anymore. Mm-hmm. And I used to invite him. I used to sneak him in my house because he didn't have anywhere to stay. Mm-hmm. He didn't really have a stable home. So we got back to my house, and we start arguing again. And I'm in his face and he's in my face, and we're just going back and forth. And this is the first time I was actually scared of him, because he choked me. Wow. He choked me so bad. And when he was done, it was about like 3 or 4 seconds. And when he was done, I sat there like, wow, did that really just happen? And I can't scream because my mom's asleep. Mm-hmm. We're downstairs. My sister's upstairs.
So you actually had people in the house who could help you?
Basically.
Wow.
But with that brainwashed mindset, all you try to do is just fix it yourself. Mm-hmm. Right. So that's what I tried to do. And
protection.
Yes. Yeah. He said he was sorry.
Yes. All
of that. And I'm like, okay, I felt like that's what came with love. Because when I was younger, my parents argued, and it was a lot of love. But as a child, when you soak up stuff, you remember all of that anger. Right. So that is what I felt like came with love. Anger.
That's what love looked like to you.
Exactly.
That's what you saw. It was the same thing with me.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And that's what it looked like. After that, everything is fine, of course. And there was another incident. I don't even remember what the conversation was about or what the argument was about. Mm-hmm. But when anger comes out, it's no way you can hide that again. Right. So once you know that somebody accepts your anger, you continue to keep just bringing that anger out. Mm-hmm. So one day, we were just arguing about whatever. Instead of talking about it like normal people do, you just let that anger go. He choked me again. This time, I literally felt myself leaving. Like I felt my soul lifting. And he said he stopped because he saw my eyes rolling in the back of my head. And when I came back to myself, he started crying. He was like, I'm sorry. And I said, okay, just promise you won't do it again, things like that. And I took all of it. 4th of July, the year we were together, I left and I spent 4th of July with his family. And that day we realized that I didn't want to go back home. So his mom came back in a picture, so we stayed with his mom. And that house was basically like HE double hockey sticks on wheels. Like, so yeah.
So did that make you realize where he was coming from? No. Okay.
Sorry. It made me realize. It made me realize where he came from, but I didn't want to go because now we were so used to staying with each other. Right. So regardless of where we went, we were going to stay with each other. It was basically like we were obsessed with each other. And his mom knew that he was hitting me. His mom knew, but his mom started resenting him. And he would be upset at me about it. So anytime we argued, the arguments was basically about that, and the punches was basically about that. I remember one time he punched me in my face so hard, and his sisters and they were just crying, and he dragged me out the house, and I didn't.
In front of them.
Mm-hmm. In front of them.
Was his mom abused? Was she?
Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely.
So he saw it.
He saw it. His father was an alcoholic, so he had no foundation, no stability.
And that's what we talked about before, as far as peeling back the layers. A lot of times you have to peel back the layers of people to kind of know, not that it's something that should be accepted, but peeling back the layers is when you start finding out people's history,
where it came from,
where it's come. Exactly.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And I say this in the book as well, which we'll get into. But once not unhappy, but once even the evil part of you, once that part sees that somebody else is making you happy, it's not okay with that, and it'll come out towards that person. And I've realized now in my walk with Christ that we were just two people whose pain knew each other and hated each other for it because we weren't healed.
Right.
We weren't healed, and we hated each other, and we hated ourselves because everywhere that we were trying to look, we were trying to find love, and it was not there. We weren't emotionally connected to anybody except for ourselves.
Each other.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
That's interesting.
I will say this. This show is obviously sparking a lot of calls because we've missed a couple. So we'll go ahead and take this first one.
Okay.
Hello, caller. You are on the air. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. We're good. Okay. Well, we thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so what are the topics that you guys are discussing right now?
You're just now tuning in?
Yes, I'm actually just tuning in,
Okay.
so I don't know.
So basically, the topics for today is about domestic abuse, and we have two guests that are going over their stories about the domestic abuse that they've gone through and come through, and are basically being very empowering with their stories.
Okay,
So
which I've been through that.
okay.
Well, we thank you for tuning
Well,
in.
thank you. I
Yes.
appreciate it. Just keep listening.
Thanks so much.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. So how that ended was this. I came back home Well, the part that I skipped, I came back home from his house. My mom came and got me. The look in her eyes was basically as if she was losing her daughter. And she was. She was. At this time, I was 18. And I would scream and yell and ask, where is my dad? What happened? Why, where, what? You know what I mean? So she finally told me, your father was on drugs. He was on drugs, and he just could not love you all like you needed. But with me being with this person, I'm already dark. I'm already dark. So I just wish she would have told me before. But then as a parent, I don't have kids, but as a parent, you don't really know when to say that. You don't really know when to say that. So I appreciate her for even telling me. And we have a wonderful relationship now. But at the time, it definitely was just a dark point for me. So the way that ended was I finally came home from being with his family. And, of course, snuck him back in because we can't be without each other. And we got up, and everything just escalated.